I've always loved behind-the-scenes stories, and I'd love to share with you the story behind this magical moment.
The 11th to take a 5-4 lead. Then came the bottom of the 11th and one more last chance.
Don't quit! Don't quit! Don't quit in this ball club all season long. Down by a run, they come back right away on back-to-back singles by Cora and by Kent Griffey Jr. The fans are alive one more time.
And here is Edgar for the second time around against Jack McDowell. Lined up with you on base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be Layton. For the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. 5
People always say to me, "Did you really take that picture of Ken Griffey Jr. at the bottom of the pile?" And I say, "Yes, I did." It was 1995. I had been in Seattle about 4 months. I was hired in June of '95. I was the only female photographer at the time. So during the series, I was assigned to photograph from third base. Well, in baseball, the prime spot for photographers is shooting from first base. Before every game, we would have a team meeting with the photographers that were going to be covering the game. We usually had between 3 and 4 photographers, one at first, one at third, one in the press box, and one in center field. Our boss would give us our passes, you know, our passes we wear around the neck, and it would have our assignments like, you know, Robin, you're going to be at third, etc. And then we would get instruction on when the runners were coming to pick up our film. Remember, these were the film days. We didn't have digital cameras back then. So now we're at the last game, we're having our pre-meeting, and my boss, you know, gives out our passes, and on this day he tells me, "Robin, you are on first base today." And I went, "Wow, I must be doing well because, you know, that's the prime spot," and I felt honored that I was given this opportunity. Well, after the meeting, Mike Urban, who's a fabulous photographer and a wonderful person, he came over to me, and I'll never forget where I was sitting, and he said, "Hey, are you cool with being at first? Because, you know, I've been there the whole series and I'm feeling comfortable there, and, you know, would you consider trading with me?" And at first I thought, gosh, you know, this is the game and first base is prime and the prime place to be. I'm like, you know, okay, you can have it. Because, you know, I really like Mike and it's totally fine. So well, the game went to 11 innings in overtime, and it was like a movie scene. Well, the score was 5-4 with no outs. Joey Cora was at third, and Ken Griffey Jr., who would be the winning run, was at first. And so now we have Edgar Martinez coming up to bat, and he's our home run hitter. So you can imagine how the crowd is just going crazy. And I'm on third base. I am sandwiched between 19 other photographers. I've got the Seattle Times on my left, I've got Tacoma paper on my right, Sports Illustrated's one person down. I mean, it is like AP's there, Associated Press, everybody. And I just remember just shaking, going, oh my gosh, I'm the new person in town, I'm the only girl, I've got this prime spot I'm at, oh my gosh. So here comes Edgar Martinez, and he's doing his practice swings, you know, right before he gets up to the plate. And I remember thinking to myself throughout this craziness, "Robin, quick, what have you learned? What have you learned in the past?" And I looked down at my camera, and I had taken 25 out of 36 images. Remember, there's only 36 pictures on a roll. So I said to myself, "What have you learned? What have you learned?" And I said, "Take it out. Take the film out." So I take the film out. Remember, Edgar's over there is doing his swings. I'm like, oh my gosh, reload my camera. And here comes Edgar. Hits the ball down third base. Right down the line, the guy misses it. It goes all the way to left field, and here comes Griffey. He's coming around towards third, and he's turning the corner, and I just remember, I am just spraying everything that's moving. You know, I'm just like, I don't even know where to point my camera, and you can't even hear yourself think, I don't think I've ever heard that loud of a noise live anywhere. It was just mayhem. So here comes Griffey, he's coming around third, he slides on the home plate, he's safe, and all the Mariners come running out of the dugout. They jump on top of him. He pops his head out the bottom of the pile, and I go boom, boom, and I'm on film. That picture is the second to last picture on my roll of film. I couldn't believe it. So I put that camera down and I grab my shorter lens and I go out in the field and I take more celebration pictures. Well, meanwhile, the runner has come to pick up everybody's film but mine. And so I know I've got maybe something on this roll and that's in my pocket, and drove back to the PI in my little red Nissan Sentra. And all the guys are at one end of the room. You know, they've been scanning their pictures and captioning them, and I come in with this last roll and I go back to the other room, and it's about 8 minutes for a roll of film to come out, and it comes out in a long strip. And when it comes out, I remember taking my loop, and you know, all the guys are still in the other room, and I come back to the computer at the other end and I just start scanning it. And I'm like, oh, this looks pretty nice. And then I remember Paul Brown comes behind me and he goes, oh my gosh, that's page 1, get that downstairs now. And of course everybody runs over and like, oh my gosh, that's great. And so the next day I come to work, I'm still not kind of realizing the magnitude of this picture. And I'll never forget, on the way to work I looked at the newsstands and it says, M's do it. And there's my picture. It's like huge above the fold, which is, you know, as a photographer, it's always a great spot to have. And I just felt so grateful for all those things to come together, so grateful for the opportunity, and really grateful to work at the PI. And now when I go back and look at that clip, I can't believe how fast it actually happened, and I really can't believe just how lucky I was.